Drogba indirdi ceza. Snyder. Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol!
Muslera! Fernando Muslera! Golün adı Muslera!
Sarıyoglu. Drogba! This is incredible!
Hello and welcome to episode 24 of The Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast, done by the community for the community. From all around our $1 billion studio, I'm your host Samet. As we have an audience of 52,000, I request you all to give a big applause to my fellow podcast members. From New York, America, we have Emre. How are you doing, Emre?
Doing good. I'm doing good, Samet. As you guys can see, that Samet is back. We made a deal to bring him back on if Galatasaray won, and here he is.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I don't know. How do you feel about that, American Yasin?
Honestly, man, I think Emre did a great job last time around. We might have to give him a little bit more opportunity. Maybe put you on the side a couple of times. That's my honest opinion. I listened to this podcast with Emre hosting maybe 2-3 times too many. I think he did a great job.
Thank you, bro.
I can agree with that.
Thank you.
And all the way from Toronto, Canada, John, how did you think of the performance of Emre?
Brilliant performance. Man of the match. It is nice to have you back, though. Hopefully you don't get too, trigger happy with the soundboard today. We'll see how that goes. But brilliant performance. Happy to have you back.
Thank you. Happy to be back. Obviously, we'll see what we will talk today. But first of all, to all of our listeners, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. There is so much to talk about. We will bring you the latest news as usual. And I've also given, again, some homework to the guys because we've had some news transfers, some personal edits we will see again. Finally, we'll end with the match performance against Antalyaspor. That said, let me... Chill, dude, chill. We're going on the news now, okay?
The passion, these spicy South Americans.
I know, right? All right, here we go. The Seferovic family is getting quite comfortable in Turkey as we see Amina Seferovic, wife of Haris, absolutely loving Turkey and especially Uludağ Gazoz. Olimpiu Morutsan is officially loaned to the Italian side Pisa Sporting Club. Loan fee of €150k with an obligation to play him 45 minutes for at least 25 games. If Pisa Sporting Club promotes to the Serie A, the €5.5 million optional buy clause becomes mandatory. Galatasaray terminated the contract of Aytaç Kara, alleviating 6 million TL from the salary budget. He signed right after with Kasımpaşa. Marcao Teixeira was officially presented on 1st of August with Sevilla. An interesting discussion took place between him and Sevilla's club president. In front of their UEFA Cups, Jose Castro Carmano said, "Marcao, these are the UEFA Cups we've won." Marcao replied by saying, "I know the trophies. Galatasaray also has one." According to Yağız Sabuncuoğlu, Galatasaray rejected Torino and Sevilla's offer for Victor Nelson. Galatasaray wants a minimum of €20 million, while knowing the release clause of Victor Enok Nelson is €25 million. According to Nevzat Dindar, Okan Buruk is not happy with the preseason performances of Ömer Bayram and Alexandra Çikildao. They won't be considered for next season, as Alexander Çikildao is also receiving some offers from Sampdoria. With the news of Ömer Bayram, Giresunspor head coach Hakan Keleş also seems to be pushing for the transfer of the 31-year-old. Leo Dubois. Galatasaray has announced a secondary strain and tear detected in his right back muscle. Talks are that it may take 6 weeks for his recovery. Now, on to the signings. 28-year-old, almost 29-year-old Fredrik has signed with Galatasaray. Details more from Yasin. And finally, we can say that Lucas Torreira and Dries Mertens have also signed for Galatasaray. More about that from John and myself. That was basically the past week. Did we forget anything?
I think that's it. That should cover it. I
You
think
know-
the big ones, the transfers there. I think that's what's on everyone's minds.
You know what nobody seems to talk about, including a shit ton of reporters on Twitter, is Ali Akman signed with Göztepe.
Yeah. Yeah, that got overshadowed quite a bit in the midst of everything that's happened in the last, I guess, 2 days. But that's surprising. That totally came out of nowhere. Even like that picture that came out a few days ago where it's like, oh, Ali Akman, he's in Istanbul. He's, like it looked like he was getting ready to sign for us. And then out of nowhere, nope, going to Göztepe.
Yeah, everyone acted like it was a done deal. But in the end, he went to Göztepe. Apparently, there was a slight issue with the buy clause. So it was a loan option and then a buy clause at the end. And somehow they just gave up on it and he went to Göztepe, which is interesting. How do you feel about that, Yasin?
Upset. I did want him. I've always liked Ali Akman since he was at Bursa, or since he had that good season at Bursa and then he went to Europe. The excitement of him playing with his two cousins, the same club as his uncle.
Yeah.
That was even something more to look forward to. And now he did go to a yellow-red team, but it was the wrong one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It looks like Göztepe does have a buy option, but I didn't see how much it is. Deep inside, I'm not giving up on this one. I would not be surprised if next year we're after him again. The leverage that we do have is that he wants to play for us. So I think if he does well, hopefully in TFF Birinci League this year, puts up 15 goals or so, we might be able to approach him and his club and say, you know what, look, he wants to come to us. We'll buy him for 5-6 mil, whatever it is, and hopefully try and finish it then. But I wish him luck. I am upset, but I hope we have plan B and C now too.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, aside from Ali Akman, we have someone else, a strawberry that's coming, like all the news is aiming at. Because, we know what they say. Galatasaray is a sexy club.
On a personal level with that, one thing that bothers me, it sort of annoys me is that, so I like collecting things.
Yeah.
Okay. I collect Galatasaray shirts. I have a ginormous Pokemon card collection. I enjoy collecting things, right? And I wanted to collect the last Akman. He's missing. He's missing from our collection, man. We have them all except him. How could you not sign him just based on that? You got to complete the collection. There's one missing, man.
Yeah, just
that bothers me, but
We didn't catch them all.
we didn't catch them all. Exactly, bro.
And like when you have 3 Akmans, it's only one license, right? So it's like a 3-for-1 deal as well, I guess.
That's a shame. That's a big shame.
Yeah. On my side, I just find Seferovic and his family very cute. I'm seeing a lot of Instagram posts, how they're really enjoying Turkey. His wife is awesome. She loves Turkey. She's studying Turkish now. She loves Uludağ Gazoz, from Bursa. It's just great adjustment, and I hope he will do well with us. Before we go too much into depth into the news, shall we do the transfer homework that I gave you guys?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Because, Yasin, you keep shitting on me off the record. Now, you're going to have it. Let's see what you prepared.
I didn't shit on the record of anything you said. So you can shit on me off record too, but just don't do it on the podcast.
No,
you do enough of that. You do enough of that. Bro.
I've had enough. It's time to get back to the shitting on Yasin track.
All right.
So let's see what you prepared. You thought it wasn't a good idea to do this. Just saying. So in order, the next transfer we had was Fredrik Micho, and Yasin prepared us something. Let's see. Here we go.
Fredrik Micho. Who is he? Good question. A lot of us didn't know either, but I think we'll get to know him quite well over the next 3 years. Just maybe, Fredrik might become a fan favorite. Let's get to know Fredrik a little better and where he came from, beginning first with his cup details. Fredrik was purchased for 3.5 million euros. It's a 3-year contract and we're paying him 975,000 euros a year, well below the 1.3 million euros that was rumored beforehand. Fredrik is 28 years old, born August 11th, so his birthday's around the corner. He's turning 29 soon, and he's Norwegian. He actually has 11 caps for Norway, 5 of them last year in 2021. As for his prior clubs, Let's say he left an impact every club he went to, beginning with his Norwegian club, Rosenborg. Misho is a product of Rosenborg, making his debut at age 16 in 2010. During his time there, Misho helped Rosenborg win 3 back-to-back titles between 2015 and 2018, while winning 2 domestic cup titles. So this guy is a winner. Maybe not at his most recent club, but the guy knows how to win. It was his performances here at Rosenborg that helped pave his way to his next destination, which was Dutch club AZ Alkmaar, where he would spend the next 5 seasons playing an average 40 games a season or 3,400 minutes. Sounds like a reliable guy, huh? Well, that's what we're getting with him. So he's reliable. That's good to know. But how about the type of player he is? Where he'll fit in the system, right? Well, he's a midfielder. And I purposely don't specify his position because, well, he can play pretty much anywhere in the midfield. Misho primarily plays in the number 8 role, but is very capable of playing the number 6 as well. He is the type of player you can throw on the field and trust to put in an absolute shift. He'll keep the opposition awake and on their toes. He enjoys going into tackles and leaving no blade of grass untouched. After a quick little search, I was happy to see that Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV fans were quite happy that he's leaving the Dutch league and AZ. So that's Fredrik Misho for you. Prior Norwegians, Omar and Linnes, have never caused issues for Galatasaray. Here's to hoping that Fredrik, like them, turns out to be a reliable, trustworthy player that does not cause issues for us.
Yasin, why do I feel like you're trying to me with that clip?
Yeah, what are you gonna shit on him for now, buddy?
Yeah, let's hear it, bro. I'm all ears.
Nah,
I definitely made a couple mistakes in there, but
I liked it. The song is fire though. It's like I think I know this song. This is from Eurovision, right?
yeah, it's a Norwegian song from 2009 Eurovision. The guy that ended up winning that year played this song, and it's based off of like Norwegian folk music.
Yeah.
So I was looking for something, that's exciting. Obviously,
Yeah, you were very
there was like
exciting,
Viking type music. I mean, I didn't want to be like too excited, but I don't know. All right, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm embarrassed now.
Emre, what did you think of
It was good.
Yasin's performance?
Yasin, you did a great job, bro. Good job. I don't know. You guys like the song. I didn't really vibe with it that much. It's like Norwegian folk music meets Turkish house music, and I absolutely hate Turkish house music.
That's actually kind of true, yeah.
It's a remix, right? It's not the
It's a
original.
remix.
Yeah,
I know, but
Yeah.
like that whole beat,
Mhm.
it's like I can't. But you did a really good job, Yasin. A
You
plus
gave us the
on
facts,
mine,
bro.
Exactly.
Gave us the
You
facts.
did good.
You get to retry on our next strawberries, Yasin. Yeah.
Next strawberries? Okay, I'll try again.
So who's next in line? Honestly, it's not official, but they're here. They're in Istanbul. They're at Galatasaray. We haven't gotten the official figures on salaries yet, but we have prepared something for them. Which shall we do first? Emre, you get to pick.
I was most excited for Torreira, so let's go with Torreira.
Okay, so I prepared that one. Let's see. Here we go. Who is Lucas Sebastian Torreira de Pascua? Born in 1996 between two big countries like Argentina and Brazil, in a small place called Uruguay, he started playing football with a small local club called Institución Atlética Sudamérica in the city where he was born, Montevideo. Very quickly, a club known for raising great young talents, Montevideo Wanderers signed him in 2013 at age 17. Obviously, this was the place for him to start his career, as it did not take long for the eyes of Italian scouts to notice him in Uruguay. Just like his captain Mustera and other Uruguayans, his first adventure started in Italy. After his first season at Montevideo Wanderers, the Italian club Pescara transferred him for 375,000 euros for their under-19 team. In 2016, he went to Sampdoria for 3 million euros and in his 3-year spell became the irreplaceable midfielder. He was barely 21 years old and all the weight of the midfield was resting on his shoulders. After his call-up to the Uruguayan national team, who got defeated at quarterfinals against France, Torreira was surely noticed. The same summer, Arsenal signed him for 28.65 million euros in 2019, a much-needed player for their underwhelming squad at the time. Torreira played 50 games where he scored 2 goals and gave 5 assists. In 2020, the next season, Torreira played great, but it was Arsenal that was experiencing their worst season as they ended 8th in the Premier League. Arsenal needed a revamp of their squad, and with this reason, in 2021, he was loaned to Atletico Madrid. He couldn't adjust well to Atletico Madrid, and then was loaned to Fiorentina in Italy, where he found himself again. Arsenal scouts gave positive reports about him, but the coach Arteta did not consider him in their game plan. With this reason, a chance to buy Lucas was born. 2 seasons ago, buying Torreira would have been seemed impossible, but thanks to Arteta's decision, Galatasaray had put him on the transfer agenda for a very cheap fee. If we were to look at his stats, we can say he's a great soldier. Stealing the ball seems to be a #1 skill set. Looking at his physical attributes and his style, we can compare him to players like Berratti, Kante and Barella. 1.66 centimeters tall, and his average run distance on the field proved this. He's very present in the midfield. Whenever the ball is lost, he's there to recover it. He loves to dribble with the ball, makes runs with and without it. His short and long passes are also very good, and that helps him gain control of the midfield. Box-to-box midfield player would be the best name for him. Oscar Tavares, coaching Uruguay in the 2018 World Cup, made him play the best suited formation for him, 4-4-2. As many Turks know, the Baklava formation. This formation increased Torreira's performance up towards the sky. In the same way, in 2019, Unai Emery gave him the second number 8 in their 4-2-3-1 formation. With Arteta coming into the team, he was played as a number 6 regista and was the main man for moving the ball from defense to offense. This just shows the many versatile positions he has played. We know Okan Buruk will switch between 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2. Next to Sergio Oliveira, the dynamic player will be Torreira. The biggest question mark for Torreira was his performance at Atletico Madrid, but his performance at Fiorentina erased the question marks completely. Okan Buruk, finding his Selçuk İnan with Sergio Oliveira, has now found his Felipe Melo. We should say his pacing is much higher than Melo, but unlike Melo, he is less offensive and close to the goal. The biggest elephant in the room is of course his length, which indicate he won't be scoring much headers. But who knows? Time will only tell.
Okay.
Very professional, Samet.
What's
job,
my
guys.
score?
A+.
You,
me.
you just try hard it, man. I don't know. I have to give you a 9 or 10. You're so
He's
professional.
the nerd
bro.
of the class.
Yeah, always have been, honestly.
Well done.
I take pride in it as well, so that's no problem.
You know, it's funny, Samet. You mentioned Felipe Melo. Both him and Torreira both played at Fiorentina at one point.
That's right.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
lots of
shit.
crossover. What I really liked is I didn't need to go and dig in a lot into his career history, like with Seferovic, because he's young. He's young, dude. He's not that old. Just a few clubs, and he's with us.
Yeah.
Arsenal paid
that
shit ton of money for this guy.
Yeah. That really is that is the transfer of the year. I think it has to be, like, for his age, what his value is, you know, how we've already seen him play in the Premier League, in the Serie A, like what a transfer that is in the position where we needed it the most. That is just fantastic.
Yeah, unofficially they're saying 6 million euros transfer fee, salary of 2.75, which is completely acceptable for a player of his caliber.
Wow. What are you expecting from him? What do you think he's going to bring to the table? What do you think we'll see when he's on the pitch?
Everything that we saw today that Fernando did in terms of defensive ball stealing against us from Antalyaspor. I really loved watching him, but we'll get to that with the match performance review.
He's going to be an aggressive guy on the field, right? I think he's going to lead by example. Just having one guy kind of like dictate that aggression, trying to steal the ball, move forward with it, that's going to motivate other players on the field too, whether he tries or not. And I look forward to that. We kind of missed that today. Sergio tried, but that's not really what he does. Berkan, like, you can only expect so much out of him, right? So I think
Oh, really? Can we?
We'll
That's
talk about
interesting you
that
say
too.
that.
We'll talk about that too. But my opinions on Berkan are slowly trying to change or starting to change a little bit. After today's performance, I was left a little disappointed. He's not in my plans anymore. I mean, I never really said he's a starting 11 player, but even off the bench, it's kind of questionable at this point.
He's such a belly dancer, this Yasin. Supports Fenerbahce, supports Beşiktaş, says Berkan is the next big thing, and now he says he's not even a bench player. I don't know what to do with Yasin.
When did I say he's the next big thing? When did I say that?
We have it all on record. Go ahead and listen to them.
Prove it. Show me a soundboard of that one too, please.
Okay, I will. All right, so
I feel what does Emre think of Torreira? I feel like he's just the type of player. I mean, he's not that big Brazilian CDM that Emre has always wanted, like Fernando Melo. But Emre, I feel like he's gonna do a good job too. What do you think?
Like you said, he's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the conductor of this team. I feel he's gonna be telling what to do, where to go, how to like progress the team forward when they need to. He's gonna be that guy that sits back and tries to, counter any, a team that's coming towards us, right? So if we lose the ball, we can't get the ball back. They have it. He'll be the first one in there. Yeah. Try to get the ball back. And like that attacking presence from our CDMs, like we haven't seen it for a long time. We haven't seen that from any of our like recent midfielders. And we failed with that. And despite his short stature, the kid is really like physically good too. So people always bring up his height as an issue, but remember our 96 to 2000 era, who was our midfielders? Okan Buruk and Emre Belözoğlu being two of the shortest players I've ever seen. And they bossed it. They won 4 in a row. 4 cups in a row. Yes. Exactly.
That's going to be Torreira.
When we score, that's going to be what he says every single time. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bro, just that energy, man.
Yeah. The energy.
The comparisons between him and Felipe Melo, they keep popping up. And it's like, when Felipe Melo is probably my favorite player ever, by the way, just so you guys know. And I don't think he was that good of a footballer in terms of like his technical ability. I don't think he was that good, but he was an absolute anchor in the middle of the pitch. Like, won the ball. Like, I've never seen a player with that type of motivation, that type of passion. And I don't think he was that good. He wasn't that good with the ball. It's just his motivation and his passion was just absolutely off the charts. Like, he would command the team. He would get under the other team's skin. He would win the ball. He would score. He scored a bunch of goals against Beşiktaş. Like, he would do it all. He would do it all without being that good. And I see all of those things in Torreira, and he's really good. He's a really good player technically as well.
So what you're saying is Melo is the Fatih Terim of CDMs. Is that what you're telling me?
You know what? That's exactly what I'm telling you. Honestly, he is so good. And if it wasn't for him, that success we had in that time period, I don't think for sure we wouldn't have some of it because he played such a huge role, man. And I can't wait to see Torreira play because I see a lot of those things in him as well. It's that South American passion, man. I love it.
You mentioned something about getting under people's skin. I think it's a very important aspect which we didn't have for a very long time. None of the players that we had was like this. And now with Torreira coming, I mean, we've seen how he screams, right? You've heard it.
Yeah.
And now Mertens coming in as well. Getting under people's skin is, I guess it's part of football, you could say, because you can really throw off some people. We've seen it live. When I went to Marsilia in the Galatasaray stadium, the atmosphere and whenever he got the ball, the fans would scream and yell their hearts out. He couldn't play the whole game. He didn't play. What was his name? Gunduzi.
Guendouzi, yeah.
Yeah, I call him Gündüz. Whatever. But yeah,
man. It's even the little things too, like we might be a little bit flat or something, a little bit slow out of the gates. All of a sudden, Felipe Melo will run halfway across the pitch, huge 2-foot tackle, win the ball. Yeah. Everyone in the stadium starts going crazy, starts throwing his hands up, yell. Like, it's just the spirit. It's so contagious. His attitude and his passion, it's so contagious. And I really, really think we're gonna see that with Torreira as well. So we'll see, man.
Who do we have from good. Last year that was like that? That you can pick out from our midfield that can bring that fierce No
one.
what you call
Thailand?
it, like
Thailand, maybe?
No.
absolutely not.
Are you crazy?
No,
I'm
Yeah, have you
It's a
seen his
joke.
shirt?
It's a joke. Nobody. No, dude, he's quiet. Thailand's like a calm ass.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
There's no.
he's
Yeah,
very
we don't
calm,
have
yeah.
anybody, bro. We don't have anybody to answer.
Yeah.
your
It's an
question.
important. It's important. It's
Donk,
all
Ryan
mind
Donk.
games, man.
He was a player like that, but he left, right?
From time to time, he would show that. Yeah.
I was so sad.
Marco was the
when he
only
left.
person that can bring that intensity from last year.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the only
Oh
person.
yeah, Marcao, of course. Yeah, and he left.
But you
so-
want to see that in the midfield.
exactly. So yeah, Dries Mertens, boys. Are we ready for Jan's homework?
Ready?
All
Let's
right,
do it.
here we go.
Who is Dries Mertens? On August 6, 2022, Galatasaray announced that they began negotiations for the transfer of Dries Mertens. The 35-year-old Belgian international forward joins Galatasaray from Napoli on a deal that will reportedly earn him a yearly salary of 4 million euros. Born in May 1987 in Louvain, Belgium, Mertens began playing football at the now-dissolved club Stade Louvain. During his time in the Louvain youth system, Anderlecht scouts spotted Mertens and realized his potential as a professional footballer. In 1998, he was given the opportunity to join the Anderlecht Youth Academy, where he spent 5 years. In 2003, though, at the age of 16, Mertens was released from the Anderlecht Academy after coaches believed he was too short and physically incapable of competing at the professional level. After being released, he signed with another Belgian side, Ghent, where he spent 2 seasons before being loaned out to Belgian 3rd Division side Eintracht Aalst, where he was named Player of the Year. After returning from his excellent loan spell, Ghent released Mertens because again, they believed that he was too small to play at a high level. Mertens would try his luck in Netherlands, spending 7 years in the Eredivisie, making 108 appearances for Apeldoorn, 69 appearances for Utrecht, and 62 appearances for PSV Eindhoven, scoring a combined total of 85 goals. Proving himself at the professional level and showing the world that he can compete at the highest level despite his physical limitations. On June 16, 2013, Mertens made his career-defining move to Napoli, where he became Rafael Benitez's first signing as Napoli manager for a fee of 9.5 million euros. Mertens would make a name for himself in the Serie A and on the international stage, spending 9 years with Napoli, making 345 appearances across all competitions, scoring 130 goals and making over 60 assists. During this time, Mertens has become the all-time leading goal scorer for Napoli, passing Diego Maradona, Marek Hamšík, and Lorenzo Insigne. At the international level, Mertens has represented Belgium at 4 major tournaments, being included in squads for the 2014 World Cup, 2016 Euro, 2018 World Cup, and 2020 Euro, making 105 appearances in total with 21 goals and 15 assists for Belgium. Mertens is known to be a very versatile player. Naturally a winger that can play on either the left or right, Mertens was converted into a striker by Maurizio Sarri and was also used commonly as an attacking midfielder. He is known for his speed, creativity, agility, and dribbling abilities, which are all complemented by his low center of gravity. This makes Mertens a tricky player and gives him the ability to dribble out of tight areas and beat defenders one-on-one. He is also known for having an eye for goal, often scoring from distance from open play and from set pieces as well. Although it is expected that Okan Buruk will primarily use Mertens as an attacking midfielder, Galatasaray now have the flexibility and depth to use him on the wing or at striker in the event of injury or suspension of other players. With the speed and creativity Mertens will have on his left and right side in Kerem and Yunus, and the quality in front and behind him in Seferovic and Torreira, Galatasaray now have what seems to be a team that should have no problem dominating in possession, scoring goals, creating chances, and most importantly, winning football matches.
Damn. Damn.
Soft-spoken, John.
Oh yeah.
Soft spoken. I felt like John was super calm and aggressive at the same time.
Dominant.
Have to bring the
Utrecht.
heat, man. It's Dries Mertens. Come on, man. Got to bring the heat for that.
No, I respect it. I felt like you have to do something like that when you talk about
Of
Dries
course.
Mertens.
It was good, bro. Good job.
Thanks. I think for Mertens, in the last 3 or 4 days, it kind of came out of nowhere. And it was one of those things where the reports came out and we were like, yeah, okay, like I'm sure that's because that happens all the time to us. We get tied to a new name every single day. But the crazy thing is, it actually happened. That's so crazy. So my question to you guys for Mertens is, do you think it's worth it at 35 years old on a 1-year contract in a position where we really need a 10? Do you think he's the guy? Do you think that it's worth it?
Yes. Easy. Easy, yes. Not only does he play 10, John, he plays the wing, and he can play forward too. And those are all positions that either we're looking for a player to play number 1 on the team in the XI, or it's a position that we needed somebody to play backup with. So this guy is a joker of a player, and it's 1 year, right? You're not committing 4 years and saying, shit, what if he plays good next year and then he goes to shit after that? What if he, God forbid, gets an injury and at 35 years old, he's going to take forever to heal? You're committing 1 year, and I think it's the +1 is what, like Champions League and other clauses like that. I think it's fine. Before I get too into it, I'm curious what y'all think as well.
I don't think he's going to be the 10. Calling it right here. I think they're going to make
Really?
another transfer. Yeah, because I see Dries as a winger backup to Kerem and Yunus, or an option for the striker role or position. I don't see him as a number 10. I think this unit team's going to make another transfer, whether it be Evander or not. But yeah. Okay, I like the transfer, like Yasin said. It's not a really high-risk transfer, but it is a little bit of a hefty price on what he's asking for yearly, if the rumors are to be true.
Yeah,
but
3.2 million-ish.
I've heard more, but if 3.2, I would be okay with that, to be honest with you.
We pay Gomis 1.7, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot. And from my side, I did kind of disagree with you, Emre. Mertens is the perfect player for the built-up squad up until now. We're seeing Yunus, Kerem. We have no real good 10 other than Emre Akbaba. And then we have Seferovic, right? And Mertens can fit in any of those positions and do actually well. Like I said, Okan Buruk is going to switch up tactics a lot in the game. That's what he likes to do. That's what we've seen him do with Başakşehir as well. 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 4-4-2. And Mertens can fit that puzzle. So it basically gives Okan Buruk a joker card to use whenever, however, he sees fit to play the game.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he can't play the 10 role, but I'm saying I don't think he was bought specifically for the 10 role.
Oh, no, we're waiting for that strawberry for sure.
Yeah, but I agree. He is the joker card for this team.
And Evander, for example, the latest reports are that it's not a done deal. It's not continuing. But we saw today he posted on his Instagram watching Galatasaray versus Antalyaspor, which is also very interesting.
Nobody watches the Super League willingly. So that's got to mean something.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And Mr. Yasin,
Yes.
how do you see us going forward when Lucas Torreira is here, Mertens is here? They'll start? Do you think they'll start?
I might need you guys to help me remember if they're fit or not to start playing. I don't know if they had preseasons with their club. I think Burns, he's a free agent, so he might have not had that proper preseason.
Mm-hmm.
But Torreira has been practicing with Arsenal. I mean, whether they're like in 100% shape or not, they're still gonna do work. So I do see them starting. I mean, Sacha Bowie only joined our team a couple of days ago, and of course he looked like he wasn't 100%, but he still put in a shift, especially that second half. We'll talk about that when we get to the game, but I see them starting after seeing Akbaba's performance today and Berkan's today. Berkan, I guess, can get replaced by Fredrik Misho, but we definitely need that proper 10 or at least a creative player. And that's what we're going to get with Mertens.
Yeah.
Because today, the creativity came mostly from Yunus.
Yeah.
A little bit of Sergio, and that's about it. We really lacked in that attacking creativity role. So I see him playing right away.
I think as well with Mertens, he sort of checks all the boxes in terms of what I was saying a few weeks ago from, what I think that we need. Like, let's assume that he'll be playing the 10. Scoring goals, check. Creativity, check. Making assists, check. Set piece quality, free kicks and corners, check. The speed, dribbling, check. Like, he just fits the criteria perfectly. And like everyone's been saying, and like I said in the little piece I put together as well, it's such a unique transfer because he can be used in so many different ways. Like I'm going to talk about in the game when we talk about the game today, but there was a few moments in today's game where Kerem and Yunus were coming inside and our fullbacks were very wide.
Yeah. And
that you're gonna see some integration with Mertens for sure, some interchangeability with Mertens when he's in the middle or and then drifting off a little wider. Like, it's just such a versatile transfer. It gives so many options to Okan Buruk. So I think that was definitely in mind when we brought him in. So it's super exciting. Give him a few weeks to get up to speed, and then hopefully from there, that's it. We'll see him from
Every
there.
time
So
we have the
looking
control
good.
of the games, under the control of the games, during the games, we have some possibilities, some big chances, some big occasions, something like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for the input.
Nah, that's gonna be interesting with Mertens as well. Apparently he rejected an offer from Juventus, 5 million euro salary as well. They asked him this when he arrived at the airport, and he didn't deny it, but he said, "I'm here now. I love Galatasaray. This is where we will do great things." So that's interesting as well. Which reminds me, have you guys? You all have watched how Torreira and Mertens arrived in Istanbul, right?
Yes.
And there was this GSTV reporter that, well, he I guess he memorized one English sentence and just went for it. Did you see that reaction with Torreira and Mertens? That was just hilarious.
It was hard to see with the 240p stream, but yeah.
Yeah, that was very badly organized, by the way. But indeed, he basically asked, how are you liking it here? And they said, yes. And then Mertens said, how are you liking Torreira? He's a good player, right? And I said, thank you. And then he went away.
Yeah. He pulled the
would've been a
reverse
good
card on
soundboard,
him.
Yes.
Can't believe that. He literally pulled the reverse card on him, and that guy was stumped. It was so funny.
But from both Mertens and Torreira, you could see from their body language indicating that the guy they were speaking to, like, they knew, oh, this guy's super nervous. Like, they were smiling at him, like, look at how nervous he is, and tried to joke around a bit. But obviously, it doesn't work interviewing people just by memorizing sentences, right? Yeah, that was also news. I don't know if we missed any other, because there was so much has happened yesterday on Saturday. Flight Tracker had like 167K views.
Yeah.
Flight Radar, it's called.
Yeah, they even posted on their Twitter. They said it's a big day for Galatasaray fans. They posted the link. And that was kind of entertaining, like, to have it up and seeing, oh, wow, like there's 30,000 people tracking this. Oh, now it's up to 50,000. Oh, now it's up to 70,000. And then when they enter Turkish airspace, 100,000, 120, 100 is just crazy, man. It's just, the support is just, it's incredible, man.
Yeah, there's such a big difference in when teams make transfers. Galatasaray, when they make transfers, is like super different. I saw Neto, I think, a player, arrive to his new club, and it was just crickets, man, just crickets. And I was like, that's such a big difference. I don't know if it actually matters for a player. Do you think a player cares about this?
Yes.
I think.
Why?
Let me put it this way. When I was able to tell what their face expression was through that stream, before they, like, it's when they first came in and sat down, they were like, okay, yeah, this is cool, business as usual, stuff like that. But then Erden Timur, solved the whole police situation and allowed the fans to come in. And then they brought him out. And then they did the Üçlü. And after they saw what the fans came to do, it was a completely different facial expression on Torreira and Mertens. You can tell they were definitely, like, moved by that. So we definitely put a better, impression on players than any other fan base.
I think as well, like, because those are big, like, that's a big decision for both players. Lucas Torreira coming
Bigger
from the
for
Premier
Torreira.
League.
than
yeah,
Mertens.
it's a huge decision. It's a really big decision. And I think once they step out and they see hundreds of people singing, jumping, lighting flares, putting scarves around their neck, I think that they just take a second and say, wow, I think I made the right decision, right?
Mhm.
Because there's not very many clubs that can do it like we do it.
Istanbul is
and I
also
don't-
like a great place to live in. And
For sure.
Arda Turan brought Torreira and Mertens. Mertens spoke to Snyder, and Snyder gave
Yeah.
him good report about Istanbul, about the club. He said, basically, just sign. And Torreira spoke to Muslera, and he actually today, after the match, in the post-match interview, confirmed that as well, that he spoke to Torreira. So it definitely helps being in a great city as well.
I also heard that the Arda Turan connection with Godin also spoke to Torreira, apparently. Not confirmed, but I also heard this as well.
Yeah, apparently he's been working behind the curtains on helping out Galatasaray with these transfers as well. That's what the rumors are.
This is what Arda Turan's going to do, then I want him around our club. This is helpful for us, so
I
I like
think-
what he's doing then.
Associated on salary or not, Arda Turan is a Galatasaray embodiment, if you ask me. I know he had a lot of controversy, but I do not doubt his love for Galatasaray. And it's like, I would do anything, like for no fee for Galatasaray. It's fine. If I can do it, why not, you know?
I'll question his like personality and everything, but I will never question his love for Galatasaray. That's
Yeah.
something
That's
that
one
you-
thing you can't question. And
Exactly.
you can't take from him ever.
Exactly. So any other specific points you guys want to discuss before we go to the match performance?
I don't think so. I think we can get into the match.
Do you want to do the introduction, John?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's
So it's our
transition
yeah
to it.
match day one. Oh, transition. All right. So match day one, we were away to Antalyaspor in Antalya Stadyumu. This one finished 1-0 with some late dramatics from Galatasaray. We took 3 points here. We'll give the starting 11. So we started with Muslera, the backline, Boy, Nelson, Abdulkarim, and Patrick Van Aanholt. In the midfield, we had Sergio Oliveira, Berkan, Emre Akbaba. On the left and right, we had Kerem, Yunus, and striking, we had Seferovic. In this match, we had 50, at the end of it, we had 56% possession, which the match didn't really start off that way. That's not that telling of the whole match, I don't think, but that was the stats. And we finished with 4 shots on target, and Antalya with 4 as well. I can get into the match if that's okay. We can kick it off, maybe talking about the first half. Look, I think everyone knew this was going to be a tricky match. You know, Nuri Sahin has really come in and taken the reins from Antalya. They were 16 games unbeaten to finish the season. We knew this was going to be a tricky one. This match started, Antalya came out of the gates very fast. I think we got a bit caught off guard with the speed they were playing at. We couldn't really settle in for the first 15 minutes. We had to kind of weather the storm there. I don't know if you guys noticed as well, at the beginning of the match, the first few minutes, it looked like they were trying to exploit Abdulkarim on his side. Like they were playing these long, over-the-top balls past him, and they almost scored on one. Like Muslera came out really far and sort of headed the ball away. So there was a few shaky moments at the beginning, you know, while we sort of settled into the match. But the first half was more or less, it was a bit of a choppy game as well. We picked up a couple yellows in the first half as well. Muslera made 100%, goal save. Like it was pretty much 1-on-1, and the player tried taking the touch around, and Muslera got a hand on it to poke it away. And then the first half finished with some dramatics as well. There was a penalty. Luis Adriano was on the penalty, and Muslera saved it. You're hearing the soundboard clip of Torreira screaming at the top of his lungs. He was watching the match. So that was the first half. What did you guys think about it? What did you see in the first 45 there?
Muslera responded to all the bullshitters and gossipers today and reminded everyone again that he is who he is for Galatasaray. Basically, he's back. And all the players that we saw last season, whenever they were asked who's the hardest working person, they said Muslera. And it just shows again, he's very prepared, he's very focused, and he brings us championships. And this was a game today that we will talk in May again and say, this was the game that brought us the 3 points that made us champions. Because it was a very important game, very important 3 points, and we got it. And I also made some money on the side, but that doesn't matter. But there's a lot to say. The referee, the decisions. I don't know if this referee was new or not, because
He's not.
he was very harsh, very harsh. Lots of yellow cards, lots of bullshit decisions. I don't want to get into beIN Sports or whoever is broadcasting this not showing the positions where we got yellows, because I just told myself today I'm not going to talk about referees. So let's talk about the game. How did you find Seferovic this game?
Well, it's hard to say. He didn't get much service.
Mm-hmm.
I was so disappointed with that. We couldn't get him any quality chances, really. And I think that's what we should have been looking for. But keep in mind as well, I thought that we were extremely wasteful in front of the net. Like, there were so many good chances that were just spoiled by a bad touch, a bad pass, a bad decision, a bad shot. Otherwise, I think we could have scored 2 or 3 today. But just lacking service for Seferovic, and we really need to improve that. And hopefully with our new transfers like Mertens, we will improve that.
Seferovic had a good preseason. What was it? 2 goals, 2 assists in 2 matches or something like that?
Yeah.
And
I was going to say, Seferovic didn't get much in terms of service in front of the goal, but we did try to supply him with a lot of, passes so he can play it off and then, lay it off to the next player. And he did squander a lot of those positions, which I was very disappointed to see. And if we go to your wasteful comment, so on our end, we had Muslera that stopped all the, balls coming through. He saved us the game. And for Antalya, really, it was the post that saved him. And thanks to Emre Akbaba. Because Emre Akbaba was probably the most wasteful player on our team. And I mean the most wasteful.
Yeah.
There was this one position that absolutely drove me nuts. I think it was Yunus who tried to square the ball in to the middle. And Emre Akbaba has passed the ball already. Like, you have just leave the ball. No, but what does he do? He turns around, does a 180, extends his whole leg out as if he's going to score off of that. And he squanders a position. I think it was Oliveira or someone that could have had a clean shot towards the goal. There was just many positions like that Emre Akbaba squandered, and I just can't. This is why I've always said that he is just a friendly machine, right? He's the king of friendlies. We can't rely on Emre Akbaba to go into the season. I think we're gonna get a 10 after seeing that today. I really want to see Mertens on the field.
both players who did really well in the preseason actually didn't do that well this game specifically. Emre Akbaba was on fire preseason, like he was everywhere. Seferovic as well. So it's going to be interesting how we go forward with them. But I haven't given up hope. It's first game. They still need to gel. There's still players to arrive, and Okan Buruk will probably utilize them.
I have hope for Seferovic, but for Emre, I don't know.
Why
I think
such
at max,
Emre Akbaba haters, man?
At max, I see him as a basically Anadolu player. To be honest, I'm being real with you because I just don't think when pressure is on, I don't see Emre Akbaba perform well.
Yeah. Yasin, do you think he was the worst player on the pitch today?
Yes. I do.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at our 11. I agree with Emre, actually. I don't think Seferovic was that great today. I wanted to see more hustle from him. Mm-hmm. There were a few times where the ball kind of just... So what we did today a lot was we just kind of... I don't want to say we bombed the ball forward, but more often than I like to see, is we just kick the ball up to Sefo and hope he kind of controls it and lays it off. Sometimes the ball would be like a little bit over his head, a little bit to the side, and I didn't really see that aggression, that hustle to kind of like, okay, you know what? The ball's going over me. Let me still like jump my hardest and like get it, or, you know, if it's going to go over me, let me sprint and like put pressure on the defender. I didn't see that so much, and it's okay. Maybe that's just not who he is as a striker.
Bro, they were in hell. The humidity in Antalya, I don't know,
exactly.
Man. I can't breathe there.
Exactly. So I can't put too much pressure on Sefo for what he did today, but like Emre Akbaba, like, I just didn't see anything exciting from him. He constantly reminds me that he's not a number 10. Like when I start thinking about our squad and do the planning, for some reason, my dumbass always keeps putting him, okay, he can play number 10. No, he can't. Like he just doesn't know how to play number 10 because he's not that guy who's going to check in to Sergio and Berkan, ask for the ball in the middle of the pitch, turn around and distribute it to the wings or dribble at the midfielder or defender and try and do something. That's what you expect from a number 10. He doesn't do that. So many times today, Emre will piss me off. Emre's example was great. But he gets the ball, and instead of trying to turn around, he just passes it backwards. Too many times when he just didn't need to do that. He's trying to shoot balls that I've never seen him make any great goal with before. Like he's trying to shoot from like 35 yards out one time at the weirdest angle when he had a pass to make. What are you trying to do? Yeah. And again, I think Emre made a great point. Maybe he's not really a big team player. Maybe he can't handle that pressure. I don't want to like criticize him too hard too quick, but it's not looking too great for him.
And it's like in a match as well where, you know, it was such a choppy match and we were having so many issues settling in, keeping possession. We couldn't build out of the back. And it's like when the precious moments we were getting the ball, he was doing that, like trying to shoot from 40 yards out. But really bad decision making. But I think if we can switch gears, I think Abdul Kerim was pretty good for the most part. I didn't really like him in preseason. And I'm not saying, you know, we should just ride this out. I still think we should sign another center back as well. But I think he was pretty good. And I saw the stats for him after the match, which were good stats as well in terms of winning the ball, completing passes, things like that. So I was happy to see that because I was very worried about it. Did you guys see that as well? Do you think he can be trusted, or, you know, are you still on the fence about him?
We were spoiled, exceptionally spoiled with Marcao. Marcao, that comes once in a lifetime, and Abdul Kerim is good. He's enough. Because we were spoiled, we don't see that, of course. We think he's bad, but he's been taking on Marcao's role fairly well. If you watch the match carefully, whenever there were long balls, whenever there were movement from Antalya players towards their forwards, Abdul Kerim was right on their back. He even got yellowed for it once, unjustly, but he was always there. And I think he did a good job. I don't think he was bad this game at all. And I don't understand the criticism. Preseason he made a mistake here and there, but I trust him. He has confidence. He has experience. Together with Nelson, I think they'll be just fine. Let's just hope we don't have injuries there, because you know, we have the El Bomba that's ready to come in.
Also, he's foreign for the foreign rule, but yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
It's like Trabzonspor. Who did they sign? Ismail Köybaşı, and basically on the signing he said, well, you can thank TFF foreign rule for your signing. That's a ridiculous thing to say. My God,
it's insane.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was gonna say I actually liked him more in the second half than the first.
Yeah.
First half, he seemed a little bit anxious. I don't blame him. He was trying to beat way too many players in the same play. He might make an extra dribbler or so. Before you know it, he's like past the midfield line trying to take on the third or fourth guy. If he can get used to realizing, okay, you know what, this is one step too many. I thought he was good. His aggression was good. He went in for headers all the time. He's always putting 50-50 challenges in. He goes into tackles really hard. He almost got hurt in the second half going into one challenge on the left side. But it's good when you have a defender that makes forwards aware that they're there. You know, like, don't forget, I'm the guy that you have to pass if you get the ball. So he's good at that. A few of his passes long to the wings was not bad either. I think we'll see a better Abdul Kerim every single game going forward. So I look forward to him. But I want to hear your thoughts on Yunus Akgün. I feel like we really need to talk about Yunus Akgün today. Like, we really need to talk about him. Before, Samet said two of the guys during preseasons that were good were not good today. There's Yunus Akgün, who was really good in preseason and who was even better today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that ball, like he put a magnet in the ball, I think,
Yeah.
and one in his cleat, because the way that he moved with that ball was phenomenal, man.
Just glued to his foot, man. Just glued to his foot. It's like, I knew he was good, but I don't know. He's just always exceeding my expectations, man. He's so good. His dribbling and the way he gets out of tight spaces, the way he takes players on, even like his final pass as well. It's just so good. And you know, like we've been saying, I think definitely he has a higher ceiling than Kerem. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do this season. He's such a special player, man.
There is some news about Yunus Akgün. An offer was received of 7.5 million euros with a sell-on fee of 20% or something like that. I think it was actually Miami.
No, LAFC.
LAFC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, well, no way, bro. No way. I've loved him before. He went to Adana. I love him now. He's just such a humble kid. If you watch his interviews, humble beginnings, helps out his mom, dad. Like, he's just a great lad. And he's a youth product. Don't forget that. He knows the values of Galatasaray very well as well. Just like an Arda Turan, if you ask me.
People were giving Fatih Terim a lot of crap for sending him away last season. But people really forget he was not great when he was playing with us. He just didn't seem confident. And then that put a lot of question marks in my head. I'm like, is this kid, he has potential, but is he Galatasaray potential? You know, does he have that potential to be first exile with us? Can he handle the pressure? At first, it didn't seem like it. Then he sent him to Adana Demirspor. I think that was probably the best thing to happen to Yunus in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. He had a good coach there as well.
This is turning point.
He's turning the corner in his career. Yeah, definitely, man.
So shout out to Fatih Terim.
So nothing ever ends until we say so.
If there's nothing else you guys want to mention about Yunus, I think speaking of turning point, turning the corner, things like that, in the 62nd minute of today's match, Okan pulled Berkan from the match and put in Mitcho. And look, I think he was really, really good today, man. He was really good. He looked comfortable right from the first minute. Passing was phenomenal. Positioning was good. He was winning the ball, transitioning forwards, backwards. He got the assist on Gomis. You can see as well after that, you can see what it meant to him. He was celebrating, punching the air. I kind of, I have to admit, I kind of didn't expect that from him. Especially after, I was skeptical after the 3-minute video clips of him kicking the ball away. But I can tell you right now, I think that's a total myth. And I was so happy to see that, man. He looked so good. Instant impact. That just boggles my mind. Exactly, John. Exactly, man. So that was amazing to see.
John, you're 100% correct. He absolutely blew me away. Even though Muslera was man of the match, I would say he changed the game around completely. This guy is literally doing what Thailand and Berkan do in one. Like, he's a 2-for-1er. and better. And better. And our dear friend Okan likes to, say this a lot. He basically did more in 40 minutes than they both did in a whole season. He basically got us the assist for the Gomis goal, and that brought us the 3 points.
Mm.
I can't wait to see him play more. We're super spoiled in the midfield now. We have so many options. I love it. Going from Berkan, Thailand, Chikaldao. I forgot. I don't even know what's going on with Chikaldao. I forgot he existed. Proper ghost, Casper the Ghost type stuff going on.
Torreira wants to loan him, apparently. But we'll see.
We should send him immediately because he's probably going to get no time.
He's going to get no time. Bro.
No.
The second the email came in asking for Chikaldao, I would call him and tell him to start packing his bags, bro. The second it came in, I don't know what we're going to do with that guy now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But, yeah,
what did
Emre,
you guys think of
exactly
Sasha
right.
Boye? Sasha Boye.
That's and you're a man, but yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, you know what? Mine too. I'm a big fan of him, but
Love the kid.
look, there was some drama before the season. We didn't know where he was going to go, what he was going to do. I thought in the first half today, it was a little bit of a surprise that he started.
Omar
before I get into
and
that,
Dubois both are out, so
Omar's out as well. Yeah, right. But yeah, I thought in the first half, to be honest, I was really disappointed. I thought him and Emre Akbaba were the worst players on the pitch in the first half, but that could be because maybe he's not match fit and you know, things like that. That's what I could sort of
It's
see.
unfair.
But then he came.
It's unfair
Yeah,
because he didn't have a preseason with us, bro.
Exactly.
And look at what he
exactly. And then he came out in the second half, but unlike Emre Akbaba, he really improved, I thought, in the second half. I thought he came in and he was winning the ball. His positioning was good. He was getting beat a lot in the first half. Shut that down in the second half. And he was just, it seemed like he was getting back to himself. So, you know, you have to be fair to him, like you said, Samet, because he didn't have that preseason and that time with the squad that everyone else had. So I'm happy to see him back. I'm a big fan of him. I didn't want to see him go anyway because he's so young, right?
Yeah.
But
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to add about Sacha is, like y'all said, first half not so good, second half very good. The maturity that this kid is showing in today's game, I'm impressed with. Number one, the penalty position. It was the one-on-one. The forward got past Sacha, and that's the one that Muslera extended his arm and got that saved. Do you remember that in the first half? Sacha could have easily caused a foul there and get a red card. A lot of players would do that. They would, you know, overly get aggressive, you know, try and tackle the ball and miss completely, get the red card, and we'd go man down in the first half. Sacha realized, okay, that's not going to happen, and he kind of just, you know, let the player go. He was smart about it. Second half, he realized, okay, I don't have the same speed that I normally do because I'm lacking that conditioning. He played a little bit deeper. He played a little bit smarter. He played further back and just made sure that he's there in front of the forward if he wants to try and get past him. Like he wasn't going into tackles all silly. He wasn't making those darting runs down the line because he didn't have the energy or the speed to do it anymore. So I thought that was really smart of him to react to his weaknesses in the first half and put a much better performance in the second half. Considering his conditioning is very poor right now. So I just wanted to add that too.
Hugs and kisses.
No, I agree.
All right, so is that my cue to talk, Summit? Since you keep soundboarding my voice, that's just ridiculous.
Go ahead, Emre.
I mean, Yasin, you're right. Second half, he basically made Gotcha, Antalya's left winger, non-existent. I don't know what went on before the whole season started with Sasha and the unit team and him just like trying to make a move. But I hope they can reconcile and Okan can use him in his plans because Sasha is such a good player to have in your arsenal, and he's very young. The sale potential on this kid is huge. But yeah, what were you saying, Samet?
That Gotcha, dude, bro, that was so annoying. This guy hugged the ground for 90 minutes long. He dropped down whenever the possibility was there. And the penalty that they received, which we haven't even talked about, Muslera saving a penalty, which doesn't happen often. He was such fire today, Muslera. And Gotcha, again, that utilized the goodness or shitness of that ref very well because he was always on the ground. Always on the ground. Yeah. I think my biggest annoyance was that dude. And basically the penalty, that was a easy drop. I'm sorry for my language. It's just like thinking of those two players and them dropping down every moment just frustrated me a lot.
Yeah, they got the football karma though, which I love. I love to see that. Flopping, doing all this bullshit. There
Muslera,
you go. We'll
when he saved the goal, Muslera pointed up in the sky. Said, Allah var oğlum.
Yeah. I think maybe just before we wrap up, I really have to applaud, two people. First, I'll applaud Okan Buruk for coming in. The whole board and everyone did really well with the transfers. I feel like he came in and got the 3 points, left it a little late. Gomes with a good finish, which maybe we can touch on. But I applaud Okan Buruk for that. And you have to applaud Nuri Sahin for what he's doing in Antalya. Really. I mean, when he came in last season, the way he turned things around were incredible, and they looked good today. In the first half, they really had us on our heels. Like we couldn't do anything. So
unbeaten for 16, 17 games.
Yeah, so you have to applaud him for what he's doing, and really, don't be surprised if they go on another run like that in the league, especially when they start playing these other teams that are, destined for the bottom half of the table. they're gonna do well, and they have Nuri to thank for that for sure.
Top 5 this season. I'll place them top 5 for sure. With us
Wouldn't
being
be
champions,
surprised.
of course. We got that winner DNA back. Even when things are looking bad, we won the game. So this is exactly, we're in the championship vibe. Yunus, after the game, he also said, we're here to be champions. So it's looking good, lads. It's looking good.
Yeah, Okan Buruk definitely did play a big role with our 3 points today. I mean, putting in Gomes was a brilliant idea because we were already like overrunning their midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell was just putting in work, but the thing is, Seferovic just couldn't handle their back line, so he put in Gomes, created an opening. Mitchell gave him the ball. Bada bing, bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
You can soundboard that. But bada bing,
Dude.
bada boom. That if Fatih Terim did that, that would be on Twitter. It's like, oh look, Fatih Terim substitution, winning us the game, yada yada yada. So
But
I
Emre-
really hope Okan Buruk gets the recognition for that because I
Yeah,
think he did.
You're the biggest
Great.
Okan Buruk guy. You've been screaming he needs to come for like what now,
Yeah.
a year or two? Like you've said it from the start.
More than that.
Before Torreira.
I think
before
Yasin
Terim.
knows.
Yeah.
Forever, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, well,
After second championship, Fatih Terim's second championship.
we
I
will
was saying
see.
it.
He had a good squad he's building, so it's looking very good. And one thing I wanted to say, yeah, Muslera we should thank as well, because if he didn't
course.
save those goals, we could have talked very differently today as well. And we could have talked very differently about Okan. We could have talked
Yeah.
very differently about Gomes, because we did spoke also about Gomes, how he would be utilized towards the end of the game. Exactly what happened today. Came in, the defenders of Antalyaspor had their hands full with Seferovic, so Gomes was just wide open, and then Micho, that was very calm and adjusted his pass perfectly towards Gomes and gave us that one goal that we needed for the 3 points. So all in
Yeah.
all, I'm very satisfied. There's
Dude.
it's first game.
Mm.
Everyone still needs to get in track, so it's looking good.
It's crazy. Micho, this guy, I don't understand. He's like a machine. He's everywhere. Every single position, whether it's in the defense, midfield, or even attack, he's there.
Mhm.
Like, I can see why all the, PSV, Ajax fans and such wanted him gone because he's like a problem.
Mhm. He's
I like it.
and he's making
He's going
those
to be a
runs as
banger
well.
of a player. That's what I'm saying. He's everywhere.
I see like what Berkan and Thailand aren't doing. He's making those runs. I saw him a few times running forward, and I guess our team isn't used to that, so they just pass back. But you could pass to him and make another forward play because he was there. It's
Thailand was in the game, and I forgot he was even playing because that's
Yeah.
how much work Mitchell was doing.
it was terrible. Thailand again, but hey, I think we need to wrap up. But before we do, I have one question for you guys. I'll start with Yasin. What do you think now of Dursun Özbek with all the transfers that we've had so far?
I think he's definitely learned from his mistakes last time, but I don't want to give him too much credit. All the credit, I should say. I think Erden Timur is really the man behind everything that's going on. He's the guy that's negotiating. In the beginning we had, what's his name? Cenk.
Mhm.
What was the bald guy? The sporting
Cenk
director?
Ergün?
Cenk Ergün was the one leading the conversations, and all of a sudden he disappeared. He wasn't involved anymore. Erden said, "You know what? Screw this. Let me do it." Right? And once he took over, it's just everything started to fall into pieces, the right places. And I think he's the one that's behind everything. Even the other bro. Like, I think Erden is, because he's familiar with all the construction business, he's the one that brought in his guys and got that done in like 2 weeks, bro.
Mhm.
What gets done that quick in Turkey nowadays? If you want to start
Yeah,
a
that
project,
was
it
fast.
takes like half a year. That got done in 2 weeks.
That's like
So
China
yes, I
level
can-
speed.
It's amazing.
Mhm.
I want to congratulate, of course, Dursun Özbek. He's doing a good job. And I congratulate him for picking Erden Timur as his right-hand man. So that alone was a great decision.
Mhm.
And I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah. What do you think?
Sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Yeah, fuck Dursun Özbek.
What?
I had a major brain fart.
What?
I had a brain fart.
I don't understand.
It's 7:30 a.m. on a Sunday. I get every pass in the world. Leave me alone.
Okay, I will, Maz. I will. Have a good day, man. Just fuck off.
Yeah, fuck Dursun Özbek.
Oh yeah, just say it one more time on the way out, eh?
I guess. Well, what do you think, Emre, of Dušan?
You know, I gotta agree with Mazhar still. Screw him. Getting players isn't gonna sway me that easily like other people. I need to see results. Last time he left, he basically put us in a lot of debt, and we barely got out of it. We're gonna be banned from Europe as well. So where's this money? I'm not seeing this money. There you go. See, past me knows the real deal. Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know where that money is coming from. I guess from Marcos' purchase, man. Sale, I meant. All right, then John, what about you?
I don't know, man. I've said a million times he's a crook. He's this. He's
There's
that.
definitely
Definitely a lot of crookery going on right now.
There you go.
Definitely, yeah. There's some crookery going on here, man. You're damn right there is, John. But and I'm sure they're just like licking their lips at the chance. I still don't know what the context is behind that one, but
It's money.
anyways, I don't know, man. He's taken some risks here. Like, he's brought in Torreira, who undoubtedly is a great player, but has had some strange issues, complaining about the weather and England as a country and things like that. So that's a bit of a risk. Like, he's bringing in high wage players where if it doesn't work out, I don't know what's going to happen to him. But he's definitely bringing in transfers to get the fans on his side. I'll give him that, to get everyone excited, to get everyone hyped about it. Not to say they're bad players. They're very good as well, but I think that plays a part in it. But I don't know. He's taking risks. We'll see what happens. I won't call him a crook anymore. I want to see what happens, but, I guess he gets one thumb up from me, not both, but just one for now, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Then I think we should close off. And we should tell our listeners, if you like what we're doing, if you have any ideas or feedback, you can reach out to us at the Lions Den GS. It's our Twitter handle. We wish you a very good day. And yep. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Later.